And alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video on the self-developed YouTube channel. You beautiful people, hopefully you're having an amazing day. The sun is dipping, that's okay. We got these moody vibes. Comment below where you're from, what time is it, and hashtag self-developed army. Let's go. So guys, in today's video, I believe I titled it, Become a Trained Killer. Now here's what I mean, okay? You're not killing anyone, I just want to put that out there. Do not, okay? But become a trained killer. Now, if you guys saw my last video, the one before this, if I remember, I'll link it up here. It was a dark truth, a dark side of NoFap, semen retention. And now, I'm not going to spoil it, but essentially, being on semen retention, right, this boost, this increase, this flux of masculine energy, if it is not properly utilized, it will utilize you, right? It will burn you out, okay? Now, this is kind of like a part 2, okay? So go check that out. Now, becoming a trained killer... I know that sounds so bad. It is a beautiful dance. I truly believe this is what it is to be a man. This is what I am coming to grips with as I mature and get older, guys. You see, as a man, we have two sides, and you must have both. You must have balance. Too many times in our manosphere, the community, we are only fed the one side, right? The yang, the fire. And now for good reason, this is something that all of us men need to first strengthen, right? You first have to become a killer before you become a trained killer. But becoming a killer will actually, ironically, kill yourself. That's kind of the catch-22. Because if you just continuously kill everyone, you will burn out. You will kill your kingdom, your loved ones. You kind of think of like Kratos, right? That's what's coming to mind, God of War. And I'm not going to ruin it, but he lets the killer really kill him, and then he seeks vengeance because he wants to rid himself of it. So it can burn you out. But once you become a trained killer, right? So if you play the new God of War games, and if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go play them. The new God of War games, Kratos, right? The guy who had the killer, right? Who just kind of ruined everything. He learns to make peace with it, master it, right? Start again, start anew. And it's fantastic. It's an amazing series. That's what we need. So in practicality, what does this look like? Well, first, I want you as a man to really get in touch with your dark side, okay? This is your primal side. This is your animalistic side. This is the side of you that fights, flights, right? This, for lack of better terms, just primal you, right? And all men have this. All human beings have this, but particularly men. You kind of think of like a dog, right? A male dog. It can go crazy. This is why they neuter dogs. I don't know if you guys know this. Like, yes, partially so it doesn't have offspring, but a big reason is to calm it, right? Because dogs don't fap, for the most part, as far as I'm concerned. So think of that, right? What happens to a dog when it gets too riled up? It goes crazy. Runs around, tears things, bites things, ruins couches, bites people. It goes crazy, right? So we first need to get in touch with that. Now, don't go bite people. Get in touch with that core, that root, right? So some ways to do this may be through strength training, right? Or activities, physical activities, where you're really in that fight or flight scenario. So maybe like martial arts, right? You're getting like choked out. Holy fuck, that will bring it out. Or getting like smacked in the face, right? For me, I like powerlifting. So when you're squatting and like, if you don't get it back up, like it could fucking crush you. Right? No safety racks. Get in touch with that. That's the killer in you, right? As a man. And we need this. But that's only half the battle. Half the battle. Make no mistake. Most men, a lot of men don't get this far. And this was me in the past. I didn't even get to here, right? A lot of us don't get there, right? In philosophy, this is known as the camel, the lion, and the child, right? Most of us are in the camel phase, where we don't really truly tap into that masculine energy. Right? And this is just due to social conditioning. We're all kind of taught in our society to be nice boys, don't, sit down, shut up, raise your hand, etc., etc. I'm not blaming anyone, but this is how it is, right? So once we get to the lion phase, which is phase 2, this is that killer in us. This is that fuck you, fuck this. I can really begin to create the life I want to create, right? You go tyrannical here. But like I said, it is not the final stage. And throughout this condo, I would consider myself still in the lion phase, but and again, you're going to transition between all of them. I've seen firsthand the repercussions of being tyrannical, of being just killer. you kill yourself. You are constantly in a fearful, fight or flight, rigid, aggressive, on edge mode, and it's not fun. It's not fun for obvious reasons. So when I say become a trained killer, this is you as a man knowing that potential, right? Having that dark side, but choosing, harnessing when to use it and when to let it go. Boom. Very important. This is, in essence, as I get older and as I look at men who I idolize, right? Maybe these are historical figures, right? Maybe your father, people you know, you don't have to know. They have this emotional balance. All of them. All of them. The strongest men I know have this. Notice how they're in the middle. Notice how they're not too aggressive, killer, nor are they too soft, camel. But beautifully in between. And that's where the child is. You see, the child is the third phase in the hero's call to adventure, right? In Nietzsche's book, Thus Spoke Zarathustra, I believe, right? I haven't read the book, but I'm familiar with the concept. And the child, the reason he is so is not so much because he's ignorant like the camel, but the child is at peace. The child is joyful, playful, full of bounce, because he's completed the quest. He can access the line at any point, but that doesn't mean he needs to. If you can have this, I think you are well on your path to manhood. This is something I am going through and learning and trying to get better at, just as you guys are. I've been on both spectrums, and we're going to, because we repeat the process. Like, life is cyclical, right? It works in seasons. We all know this. But if you can become a trained killer, which is having that animalistic side in you, that no, that drive, that thumos of what you want, right? But then learning when to use it and when to not. Because make no mistake, you do not always need to use it. And if you continuously use it all the time, it's now using you. The lion has overtaken you. It's kind of like a host and a leech. You know what I mean? It's overtaken you. Think of like Venom. That's what's coming to mind. You guys have seen that movie. It's overtaking you. You have no control over it. It just controls whatever the fuck you do. Becoming a trained killer, and I haven't seen the new one, Carnage, right? But it's when you can have that synergy, that balance of, yes, you can use that motherfucking power, but there are many times where you don't, nor do you need to. That is emotional balance. That's mastery. That is what it is to be a man. So guys, that is it. This was a fun video to make. I love these more philosophical ones because I'm going through this with you. I didn't read this necessarily in a book. I didn't hear this from a video. I experienced this. I saw the positives. I saw the fucking downsides and repercussions. There has to be that balance. Harness that, and your life will transform. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, just as we have that sun coming out, baby. I thought it left, but life was like, nah, I'm still here. It's kind of like what we just spoke about. The sun doesn't always need to shine. Sometimes it can cover itself up. But just because it's covering up doesn't mean it's gone. Use it when the time comes. I know that sounds silly. I'll finish it here, guys, with the final plugs. If you are interested and would like to work with me on a personal level at really finding this balance, right? Or improving your fitness, business, mindset, and relationships, becoming self-developed as a man, there's always one-on-one coaching, guys. We still have spots open. You've been loving it. You've been running it up. It's so great speaking to you guys on a personal level. We have group coaching, which you can check the workshop down below. 4 1-hour calls with myself, a small group of men, a bit cheaper than one-on-one coaching, and it's a blast. All right, guys. As well as the course. It's passive, it's the cheapest option. It's over 3 hours long, improving every area: fitness, nutrition, intermittent fasting, no fap, meditation, increasing your masculinity, improving your relationships, finding your passions, turning it into a business. Check out that free half-an-hour version. Get yourself a teaser of it, linked below. And that's it, guys. You can support Edge, coupon code Hammond. This is their gray Henley. Love it. Come on, about to go for a walk. You guys know what's up. Soak up those last bits of sun rays and work on this emotional balance for me. It is not easy for me. It's not easy for anyone. This is something as a man you must learn. This is not something that just comes natural to you. This is not something you wake up one day and you have it. Bullshit. You must go to the extremes and find that beautiful balance. And you're always tweaking it. You're always refining it. It'll never just be perfect, right? Idolize. Look for men who are generally older than you, 40s, 50s. I've noticed this is really when they get it good. Once they hit around 40 years old, depends. You could say 30, 40, 50. They really get it good. Good, strong men. They have that thumos and that power. They'll fuck you up in a second, but they don't need to. They're very joyful too, playful, right? King energy. This is something I try to look for. So find them, okay? And begin to learn and emulate that process, and you'll refine it. So that is it, guys. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day. I will check you in the next video. With that said, till then, much love. Peace.